And if any of y'all know Cody Gibson, our VP, we were kind of like talking about that number. What's unique about that number? 81%. If I told you 74% last year, what does that number mean in our industry? It's the amount of agents that aren't doing any business in 2026. We were 74% in 2025 and 2026 so far, 81. I think it's actually like, have you heard, y'all see that? Isn't it 81.3% or something like that? The statistics from the industry of agents that have not produced a single bit of transactions in 2026. It's 100% real. Somebody ordered Chick-fil-A and it's here. Yeah, this is like the coolest office ever. Anyway, so like when you think about that, like I got into this aspect of it, what do most agents that are starting out, or what is the easiest way right now to make money when you want to make money in today's market? And to me, that's buyers, working buyers. Listings, like congratulations, you got a couple coming. I think they're the hardest conversations to kind of have. And when you're sitting at the kitchen table, the conversations and the questions that you don't ask at the kitchen table would just become tomorrow's problems. So it's really tough for a lot of agents to have those tough conversations that I realize that you paid this, I realize what you think that it's worth, and here's what we need to do to get the market, like to match the market. So when it comes to buyers, I feel like there's a ton of buyers because you start looking, and I'll go into all the macro and microeconomics of what people are hearing and seeing right now. And the reality of it is that there's plenty of buyers. We're still going to land somewhere around 3.95, 4 million homes sold this year. We did that last year, and we did it the year before. So people are moving and selling houses at the same rate, but it's just what is holding them back? Why do some people get most of it and some people don't get any, right? So that's what I kind of talk to you. Is that okay to talk to you about? Any questions about that? How are y'all feeling about buyers right now for y'all's area? Don't worry, I'll wait. How are you doing? Buyers moving good for y'all? Slow? What are y'all hearing?
I haven't had many buyers.
Okay. You, anybody? Buyers moving at a certain rate? Well, we'll kind of talk about it. I think that a lot of what I'm hearing and seeing right now is that while it's still good, it's like it's not a good time to buy. Interest rates are too high. I'm waiting for the market to crash. Like all the different things. I mean, people have actively made a decision to meet with you and talk to you, but yet there's these outside influences that keep holding them back. So that's kind of what I want to go through today. We'll talk a little bit about what I consider to be like the 7 fences that buyers sit on. I talk about a little bit of the macro fear, micro, what confidence sounds like, how to like get into your market shot. I'll kind of show a little bit. I left that blank for you guys to kind of put with it, but just some different stories or whatever. We'll kind of go through all these questions or kind of through there today, and then just see what you guys think about the actual buyer side of things. Here's the thing that I can tell you about buyers, in my opinion right now. Buyers aren't confused, they're protected. More than anything right now, like if you see somebody that wants to actually buy a house, like I guarantee you, probably half of them think if I buy now, and then what's going to happen in 6 months? What's going to happen in a year when the market starts to crash? Like that's the way people are thinking right now. Like things are getting tough. If I buy for 400, what am I going to look like in a year from now when it's 385? So I heard the best thing that I heard from Gary Keller say is that people always say, you've heard the old statement, and I used to say it all the time when I first got started, is now a good time to buy real estate. It's always a great time to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Without any questions behind it, you are a part of the problem. It really truly is. When you look from in bold, we do market snapshots that we started like 2 years ago. So we kind of go through those, and at the first step, I'll go through the current market economy of where it's at. But customer sentiment right now is one of the biggest things that are down. It's at 13%, which is the lowest it's been since 1966. On buying and selling a house, people are at 13%. Is it a good time to buy or sell? And the reason why is like, you know, when Gary was kind of talking about it, he said, you know, when people ask me that, I'll say, I don't know, how long do you plan on staying in the house? I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years? Great, it's an awesome time to buy. If you're looking to flip it, maybe be here for 2 or 3 years, it potentially could be lower. But what we do know is that over 7 years, there's never been a time in documented history that you've lost money over a 7-year span. So if you're staying in it, it could be a good time. But people are protected. Like if they're not weighing, like the reality of it is, it's not so much good house, bad house. It's what can get the best deal. Where am I protected the most when I actually make that deal? And is moving forward going to make me in a better position or worse with my family? That's the bottom line behind it. They need more information. That's the biggest myth and misnomer that I can. And I know y'all feel free to take pictures or whatever, but I'll send these out. You have them. You can do whatever with them. Pass them out. So the 7 fences why buyers hesitate, like when I think about it, loss aversion. Losing 10K hurts about twice as much as gaining 10K feels. When you tell somebody, when you look at it, it's almost like, oh, I'm sorry, can you see? Turn it off. No, you're perfect. It's like a intimate office, Chick-fil-A's delivered, people are saying, hey, lights down low. This is awesome. I'm loving y'all. But when you look at it, the loss aversion, like a lot of people, that idea of if I lose money now in the next year it's a weight, it's a much heavier weight for them to carry to think that like you potentially will gain $10,000, $20,000 over the next 3 to 5. It's like playing the stock market. No one talks about the slow roll that they got over 5 years. They will tell you the market's like not doing terrible and I lost $8,000 the other day. Like that hurts more than the long-term gain. So loss aversion, fear of regret, avoiding a decision entirely because they just don't want to feel stupid later. Like it's easier for me not to make a decision and move forward. So I'm just going to play that game. I like it. Some picture on some listing will spring them back into action, but then only to find out as they keep moving forward, there's something that they're fearful of. Analysis of paralysis. To me, this is probably the biggest one. What are the rates? What are whatever? Like, it's interesting. How many of y'all dealing with buyers are moving forward, even with sellers that are potentially moving to another location? How many of them talk about interest rates?
All of them.
All of them. The interesting part about it was on NAR that I saw that statistic, but the interesting part about it is that the interest rate conversation went to like number 8 on the list. I think last year in 2025 or 2024, it was like number 6. More people are concerned is if they have a bus route pickup than they are what the interest rates are from a standpoint. But here's the thing, you and I both are sitting there going, every buyer I talk to wants to talk about interest rates. Everyone. So it's really in that essence, I look at it, I'm like, it's to me more of an affordability thing. Like most people, if I could put it in your affordability range, would you continue to make the purchase? So it's calming them down off of, I get the interest rates are where they're at, but my question always is, what if they never change? What if they go up? What if they're 8%? What if all the stuff overseas, there's a lot of stuff to go. You have to take the buyers back right now. And the biggest thing that me and my wife always tried to do was take them back to what currently is driving you right now and what you need in the future, not what's the exact rate. Because I can tell you this much, if you take somebody out tomorrow and find them the best house that they have ever had, and they look at it and it's in their price point and it's 6%, and you say, instead of $2,500 a month, I can get you this house at $2,200 a month. It doesn't matter if the interest rate was 8%. If it fits their affordability, they're going to move on it.
That's exactly right.
It's just that simple. So you have to start easing their mind on that. We'll dive a little bit. That's the analysis paralysis, status quo, information overload. This right here, for me, and we'll break down the 4 types of buyers, but information overload is like, it's a short, like you have to, there's so many times that I see agents, when I talk to them, I'm like, well, what did you say when you said this? And they add stats on top of stats and interest rates on top of interest rates. And hey, the interest rates are too high. Also, let me tell you, over a projection of the last 30 years, their interest rates are at the lowest. Like no one cares. That's not making them move right now. Like that's not helping. Information overload is just making them want to back up and punt even more, if that makes sense. I think you need to put the stats out there, know exactly where the market lands, and help solve problems for them to move them forward in that direction, if that makes sense. Choice fatigue right now, are y'all seeing that big? How is y'all's market right here in this area? Inventory going up, down, staying the same? How is it? like big time, or?
I think it's slow. No, I don't know, might be wrong on that, but I think it's a steady, slow increase.
I agree.
Yeah. So, like for example, down in Coweta and Fayette County, several hours from here. Do y'all even know where that's at on the south end of Atlanta? So I'm the next county down from like the airport. So in that area in Coweta County, for every house that sells, like I look at absorption rates. So everybody knows absorption rates or days on market, all that. And the absorption rates, the interesting part was in Coweta County, for every house that sells, there's 4.3 coming back to the market of the same value. In Fayette County, when you look at it, for every house that sells, there's 2.6. What does that mean for us?
Buyer's market.
It's a buyer's market, and in my opinion, Art's leaning there. And then all of a sudden you start taking the price ranges. Y'all run the reports on that, right? But when you look at it, it just means that they have more options, and this choice fatigue starts to come over. Like you take somebody in the house and you're like looking around, it's like, wow, this is everything that I look for. And at the very end, it's like, well, can we go see the other 6? And next thing you know, when we get to 6, you don't even know what the first one was. What did you think about the hardwood floors in the first one? They were really nice. Yeah, there wasn't hardwood floors in that one. That was all carpet, even in the bathrooms. Like, it's that choice fatigue that sets in that keeps people stuck exactly where they're at. Does that make sense? So this is another big one that I do, the waiting. How many of y'all use these for do y'all have people that are renting right now as opposed to buying? I feel like a lot of people, renting? How do y'all navigate that?
Educate.
I love it. So
Educate on the difference in paying rent and the equity that you could gain, and just getting them in with the right vendors and contacts to help them understand the decisions that they need to make to get
Yeah.
to that.
do y'all feel like, does everybody understand this at the safe choice, the kind of the way I talk about it is that I think there comes a particular time where just make sure that you're talking about the rent paid that'll never get back over time, appreciation rate. This is the one aspect of currently right now. Do y'all see appreciation still in this area quite a bit? Or are y'all kind of holding? I guess what I'm saying is if you're going to list a house, do you feel like last year you would have listed it more than you would right now? So you feel like it's come down just a smidge. This is the one variable that I feel like in this conversation moving forward with like agents on my team is like, we used to use that 2%, like you're missing out on the appreciation. But if we're kind of stagnant and staying at around 2%, then if it goes down, we just need to pay attention to that and take that out of the equation when you're having educational moments with buyers, I guess is what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. But it's a waiting game. It's a safe choice build of not making a mistake now, regardless of what it will make you in the future. Buyers are staying exactly where they're at right now. And if you can walk them through this process, you'll be so much better off. A lot of times when I'm talking to Amanda, she's my lead buyer's agent. She has this couple that she's been helping, and last Saturday they came to an open house she was holding, and me and my wife rode by and started talking to them, and we started talking about this bill. And it's just interesting the way some people think that I'm waiting right now to make such a great deal. They will pass up money. It's, to me, and I could be wrong on this aspect, it's like stepping over $10 for hoping to get 20 somewhere down the street instead of picking up the money along the way. And one of the things that they were saying was really interesting to me is that I'm waiting for the market to completely take a crash so that I can buy super low. And I'm not one of these people that bought in 2023 and now their house is worth less than it was. I'm like, well, that's a bold statement first and foremost, right? But at some point in time, this rent paid on this is, my statement is like, what would it look like even if you were able to put money back into where you build equity, that even if you lose it over 1 year, you look at 10 years down the road and you have made money, you plan on staying? Yeah, my kid's in the 4th grade. Like, I plan on doing that, right? When you look at that aspect, I'm like, when are you going to stop paying someone else's kids' college and start investing in yourself? That's the biggest aspect of that. Make sense? So macro and micro decisions. This is huge right now and that's going on. People in Demarest area are making decisions based off national news. In Atlanta area, right? Everybody's shaking their head like, yes, because it's there. You look at interest rates. Here's the thing about it. Don't run from it. Don't avoid it. It is what it is, right? Interest rates are holding where they're at. What the new Fed chair just came in. He's holding everything where he's at. All the different things that are happening right now. The stock market, everything overseas. There's a lot of things going on. But when you look at a national scale, Atlanta's doing the general vicinity is doing really, really well. You look at like Phoenix, you look at there's a lot of areas that they are severely, severely hurting. I mean, it's just a part of it. So really, when I look at the interest rates and all that, it boils down to reframe is like, is this a good fit for you guys? Like if it's a good fit for them, stop letting them think on this huge national level and get back down to a local area to make simple decisions that move them forward. Does everybody understand that a little bit? The big thing for me is I got these. I'm gonna pass them out to you guys. I wrote these. I'm a big person on conversations. There's something for both of y'all, I think.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. Miss Hash Browns. But I got these, and on them, what I wanted you to do is just see, I put 25 questions on there. They're just kind of reframe questions. And really, stop closing and start asking. That's the biggest thing that I see right now. When people aren't making a decision right now, here's the thing about it. Like my wife always tells me, it's not you, boo-boo. You haven't asked and earned the right to ask the tough questions to move them forward. Stop looking at the transaction and start closing them. So uncovering hesitation, shifting them to the future, invite to a decision. Like when you're showing houses to folks and they're looking at a grand scheme and still not making decisions, here's what I can tell you. If they're not making a decision, you have to pay attention to their why potentially has changed. And it will change from house to house. Like if you take them to the 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, fenced in backyard for Bobo to run around in a cul-de-sac lot and they're still not pulling the trigger, you need to figure out what's going on with them. What's changed? Oh, I don't really like this one. Are they making $2,500 granite countertop decisions off of a $400,000 home? Like it's reality. And if it is and they're scared, then what are you doing to walk them through that process? Again, being like people look at this, I'm not a buyer's agent, I'm a problem solver. Like if you want to buy a house, I have never been to Walmart or the grocery store and started talking, I do the same pitch, everything. Hey, how are you doing today? Good, awesome. You guys from the area? I apologize. Me and my wife sell real estate. I ask everybody that question. I say it every time. And people, oh, how's the market? Like they want to get into the conversations. I've never been at a Walmart or a Kroger, asked that conversation, go, you know what? Oh my gosh, I came in for a gallon of milk and now that you're here, let's buy a $400,000 house. But when you get into conversations with people and they say that they want to buy them, stop making the process more complicated. Make it easier for them to pull the trigger, if that makes sense. Closing language, we kind of talked a little bit about that. Just use confidence in what you're doing. Make sure that you're practicing the conversations. The big thing about this one that I like to say is when you're moving around with buyers and sellers, pay attention to what they're actually saying. And whatever on an Apple phone, you have the notes section of that. Like put in what you're hearing them say. Now, if you have an Android, I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea how to operate an Android phone at all. Bingo, there you go. But put in the notes of what they say, but more than that, like what I like to do on my notes sections, like if I put it in there, I have mental ideas. So if I'm here somebody and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get that, but interest rates are probably going to go up and rent's going down. And I'm like, that's an interesting conversation. If I don't know the question of that, I'm like, man, that's awesome. Like, listen, how about we meet for a cup of coffee and let me talk about it. I put those in there so I always have them if I don't know the conversation right off the rip, because a lot of times we get busy, we get back to the office, even though it may be a particular client, that client note may stay inside of that client contact. I'm looking to keep it for if the next 5 or 6. So just make sure you're walking them through those conversations. So the four buyer personalities I see, the analyzer. Who's ever worked with an analyzer before? That's a lot. It's a lot. So fear's deciding with incomplete data. My big thing here for the analyzer, which is a lot, what I'm seeing right now is the analyzer and the skeptic. The skeptic thinks that the rate, everything's going to fall and I'm waiting for the best one. The analyzer needs to know more information. And when you get them more information, they want more information. They want more information. Stop feeding them information. Help them organize that information and go, what do we need? What else do we need to make a decision today? What has to happen for you to decide today? That's the holdup with a lot of the analyzer. They feel like they need more. So organize their research and stop feeding into them. The skeptic, their fears of being taken advantage of, losing money, the whole 9 yards. The dreamer, that's the big one for me, that anchor them back to their vision. Like, the dreamer to me is the person that you take them to a product, you take them to a house, you start looking at it, and it's like, well, what about the next thing? What's there? Maybe there's something bigger. Probably the most recent one I can tell is when people get to a certain area, say $400,000, and you show them $400,000 houses, how often do they want to go see the 425 and think that you can make a deal? The question is can they have a deal right now? Like, I mean, y'all say that, like I feel that pain from when y'all say that. I've seen, especially in my area, which is, I mean, we're 2.5 hours apart from I think it's like 90 miles apart, 105 miles apart, something like that. But you see people right now in today's markets that, how do you know if a house is worth a deal if a buyer asks you? Like, can I get a deal on it? Sure. Perfect.
Know if there's the potential for negotiation.
Perfect, 100%. So for me, what's the way to fix that is that like, hey, is it okay with me? Is this a safe space for me when we go show that house, go, hey, listen, this house has been on the market for 4 days. If you're looking to make $25,000, I mean, I'll write the offer for you, but I also want to educate you on why this may not be a right decision. Like, so it's just kind of knowing that. So you have, like on my team, I've seen people go in 17 days on market when it's an average of 41, offer 25,000 less, and they took it. And we haven't even got to due diligence yet. So that tells me out there that people are moving, and it goes back to that 4 million homes. Like, the market's here, housing industry in California has dropped, like all the different things that you hear, people are still moving. We're still selling close to 4 million homes every year consistently. So it's like, if you want a deal, just know how to set them up for the deal on the dreamer. The protector, that's financial risk. Some of these kind of the skeptic and the protector kind of, get together, but anyway. Localize your map. I kind of left this for whatever. Some of your rates, market, like these are just some of the things, your sale to list ratio, percent, all that stuff matters in what you're doing. Again, you guys can have all this, but these are things that you need to be able to spit out to a buyer and move them forward without hesitation. No fail in it at all. The decision framework. I like to kind of, whenever, ask y'all a question, whenever y'all are showing a buyer, and let's say that you show, what are y'all showing probably on average if you're going out on like a Saturday or Sunday? 3 or 4, 5, 10, 61 homes in a 3 or 4. What I like to do is, how do y'all grade to understand if they're making a decision based off the home? How do you grade the homes, or how do you keep them on pace with what they want? I guess is what I'm saying.
Conversations we had at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Just check your boxes. What are the pros? What are the cons about this property? Is there something that stands out about this property?
Yeah.
Something that you really desire and need that this property doesn't have, so you can
I love it.
judge where you're going at.
Do y'all find after y'all are showing some of them that people are still like, you get through Saturday showings, you show them 3, you get that afternoon, they still haven't made a decision yet and don't really know why they're not making a decision?
Sometimes, or you figure out that they really didn't know what they wanted to begin with until you show them those 3 houses. And
Yeah. Well, I want to show, if it's okay, can I share with y'all just a couple ways that I do it? So this right here, my wife likes to teach this a lot on hers, the head, heart, and home type situation. I think it's a pretty good way. I think that depends on how you sell it is probably the best way, or how you, not sell it, but how you actually go about it. I do the paperwork aspect on it. So when I say the paperwork aspect on it, I may have my stack of papers, and I may look at. I'm like, Adrian, we showed you, showing him 3 houses, him and his wife 3 houses. When we get done with the first house, I may have like the little print off from MLS, and I'll look at it and I explain to him like, hey, here's what I want to do. 1 to 10 gets confusing. Like, does a 7 mean you want to move as opposed to an 8? Is an 8 better than a 5? Like, it just gets confused. There's so many numbers. So the way I like to do it is I'm gonna do it from 1 to 3. A 1, you don't ever want to see this house again. Matter of fact, don't show me any more like it. A 2, I could see this, but I need just a little bit more time. 2s are followed up, if y'all can write this down, 2s are followed up with what has to happen for you to make this a 3. It's just one question. If it's a 2, what has to happen to make it a 3 and make a move? And if it's a 3, then we're writing an offer, and I can take the other 2 that we were going to see, and I don't have to, we're not going to look at them. Where do you think most people want to fit in that category? A 2. If they like the house to a certain degree, right? The question is the one that moves them off of it. Well, I don't really know if it had this, this, or this. If they say things about the house in general in itself, well, to make it a 3 and make a decision, if that master was a little bit bigger and that bathroom was whatever, I would totally buy it. Great, you're talking about a full remodel. Is that something y'all prepared to do? Like, you need to be able to walk them back through there and have those conversations standing on the front step and not give them more opportunities to help them make a decision. You're not selling them on nothing. Does that make sense? Now, my wife does a little bit a different aspect of it, and she writes it out on the sheet. And I thought it was I think that it hits a little bit more of that relational aspect of it, but she does the 3 of them. You look at your head, heart, and your home. So you have what your head's telling you, what your heart's telling you, and what you're looking at in a home. And what I always tell them is afterwards, on the same thing, she'll take the sheet and she gives it to them. I want y'all to keep this copy of it. And what she'll do is she'll look at it and draw around on it. And I want you to start, when you look at these obstacles, is there more of, like, when you think about your head, what is your head telling you? Like, where do you want to be? Like, I want this, this, and this perfect. What is your heart telling you, and what's the home telling you? If it's fitting everything that you want, it has the bedrooms, the bathrooms, all the different things that I want, like, that's great. If my head's telling me this is a good deal, this is the right fit, like, it's the right money, you get it closer to the center line. So whenever these all meet, this perfect little spot in the middle, if it answers all the questions, then it has to be the right house. But if your head's telling you like it's the right house, the right price, all that, and you know what, like, I don't know, it's just something about it just feels off, then it's not the right house. Let's move forward. But have them figure out what that is. She makes them tell her the answer so that we don't go show it again. Like, I feel like it's great, but like just a dead end street. Like, I don't like being I don't like being in the beginning of the street and everybody's passing by me. Awesome. So if I'm hearing you right, if we find another house exactly like that, you prefer not even to go see it. Well, I'm not saying that. What is it that you are saying? Like, ask the questions that, like, because in today's times, like, more than anything, a lack of information, a lack of communication is what's probably holding us back more than anything. People are scared to make decisions. Does that make sense? So she likes doing it that way. I think it's a great idea. I like doing the number system. Just lower the number system down. Don't give them so many variants to make decisions based off of that. We talked a little bit about this, the buyer's things, but here's the thing about it. You don't sell homes to folks. You help them make decisions that they need to make. I go back to that. There's so many times I think that just dealing even with listings, the questions that you don't ask the buyers that they're telling you when you're there are going to be tomorrow's problems. If you find yourself showing 13, 14, 15 homes right now, you haven't asked enough questions. They haven't trusted you enough to be open and honest about it. So just make sure that you're asking the right questions and moving them forward. And then on this right here, I gave you guys 25 questions that kind of broke it down in about hesitation. 11 through 15 was a lot about the future and what does it look like. a lot about the fact from fear, and then several questions about inviting them to a decision. And then I put some of the like other little stuff on top of that. So that's really what I want to share to y'all today about buyers. But is there anything that y'all want to add to it, or anything I can help or talk through or mastermind around?
I love that, help them hear themselves think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it's so interesting. Let me see the right way to, I feel like all of y'all seem pretty high. Well, I don't think I saw the numbers on the board. Y'all are high achievers. It is amazing, I think, when you ask the questions for buyers, you ask the questions that other agents won't ask, help them future pace into a positive future. Also be strong enough in your decisions as a professional to negative pace them into the future. If we don't make a decision today, what does that mean? If we do, what does it look like? But it's amazing to me, hearing all over the country, the answers of why buyers aren't making moves because they don't like, it's like as simple as like, I don't like the backyard, or it's small financial decisions off large investments. And the reason they stay hung up and not doing things because as agents, we have to be the people that are going to ask them ask them to make a decision off the things that got them to you in the first damn place. So that's kind of how it is. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. But that's what I had. Thank y'all for your time.